This is Cameron Fowler, CoC Director with the Texas Homeless Network. Welcome to our CoC General Meeting. It is July 12th at 2 o'clock. If you aren't sure where you are or what time it is, that may apply to some of us in the room right now. Probably just me. I just got okay, thank you, Michelle. Michelle said she couldn't hear, but she can now. So now we know you can all hear us. I'm going to go ahead and have Craig pull up the map, and while he's doing that, we'll introduce staff that's joining us in the conference room today.
Hi everybody, this is Kristen Zakor, the Data Coordinator. This is Alexa Timrick, Summer Vista.
Caitlin Bear, Balance of State Programs Coordinator.
Craig Blaze Fierro, CoC Programs Assistant.
Mary Ricklick, CoC Manager.
Megan Moore, THN Vista Program Manager.
Sophia Cheka, Systems Change Coordinator. I'm going to tell everybody now.
Tell it now.
So, y'all, I formally got promoted last week to Continuum of Care Assistant Director. So that's who I am now. Sophia Cheka, Continuum of Care Assistant Director.
That's who she is now. So we'll be letting you all know about that and some other kind of shifts in duties here and who you can contact for what. We have a new performance coordinator starting with us on August 7th. And we also, you're getting woohoos and congrats.
Yay, thanks y'all.
Thanks y'all. We also are going to have recently posted Sophia's old position, which for the time being, continue to contact Sophia on all things coordinated entry, and we will keep you all posted on details of those changes, and we're excited about all of them. Will you go back to the map?
It was hard to capture it for you this month. There was a lot of dogs.
Wow. So, yeah. We're like, wow. This is our attendance map this month. We have, again, just are really excited to see more representation across the balance of state, really every meeting. Mm-hmm. And yeah, some folks we haven't seen in a while are joining us, and lots of new folks. And again, just thank you all for being here. For those of you that are new, give a shout out, say hello, and keep coming, and please keep sharing the meeting information with your community members. Again, you know, we can't say enough how important it is and how much we appreciate you all attending, and we look forward to seeing more dots on the map every meeting. So thanks, y'all. And moving on, I'm going to go straight into our agenda. I think we should have a relatively short meeting today. Start off HUD CoC program application and competition. This will sound familiar because it's the same thing you've heard from me for our past few meetings. We don't have a NOFA yet. We're waiting. I wish I had more information for you. We simply do not. After we do get a NOFA from HUD, we'll be releasing our RFP, and do just want to remind you all that our current CoC grantees that your competition has already begun. We've started collecting items from you. We're going to continue to do that. Please read your emails from us very carefully. Anything that says action required and or mandatory will impact your score in the next competition. And we are going to be sending you all some more emails about things to do to start preparing. So again, we do not have a NOFA yet. We do not have an RFP. However, current grantees, your competition has begun. And please treat your emails as such. We don't want any of our projects to lose points for not reading and or responding to our emails. So thank you in advance for doing that. Housekeeping, if you all have questions, you can raise your hand. You can type those into the question or chat box. If anyone has questions about the NOFA, aside from when is it going to be due, feel free to put those in and we will answer them. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to system performance measures with Kristen.
Hello everyone, this is Kristen. So I just kind of wanted to review some updates and new things that we have in regards to system performance measures. We were actually extremely lucky and given permission to resubmit our system performance measures for this year. And it really benefited us because some of the agencies that were missing some assessments were able to complete those assessments, and then we were able to submit the latest report with that new information. And honestly, it helped us out quite a bit because we were able to increase our percentages for some of the measures. So that was great that HUD got an even better report from us. We'll be reviewing that particular report next meeting, just so in case any of you are curious, we'll be diving into it a little bit deeper next time. But it just goes to show the importance of kind of keeping up on that data entry throughout the year, because this was a one-time thing and it's not going to happen again. So we just got really lucky that they gave us permission to do it. So once again, just reiterating why it's necessary for us to get that data in as soon as possible and maintain it throughout the year. I also wanted to update you all on some reporting issues. I'm currently working with the HMIS team to come up with a way to drill down on the community, or the system performance measures, to drill down on the community level information, because we do see the value in using system performance measures report to guide performance, program performance. So we're trying to work on a specific way of doing that for individual communities and projects. We are still in the developmental phase of this all, so please bear with us as we're trying to figure that out. And I also want to mention too that if anybody does have questions in regards to system performance measures, please direct all of those questions or concerns to me. My email is kristen@thn.org, Kristen with an I. And then last but not least, I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware that the system performance measures are not meant to be run on an individual community or project level. So we discourage anybody from doing that at this time until we can kind of get a better grasp on how we should be working with that information in the system. And if the reasoning being is that because if you were to run the system performance measures as they are right now, the information that you get for your specific community is not correct, because it's kind of looking at the whole scope of things and not your specific agency or community. So those numbers will not be accurate, and we do not recommend that you use that information in trying to make decisions or presenting it in any community meetings. So I know these system performance measures are a little bit in a gray area right now, and like I said, we do see the value in trying to use them just to kind of help our programs set goals and develop kind of different program measures throughout the year. So we are trying to work on a way to do that, and hopefully we'll have a better update next time.
Thanks, Kristen. Yeah, so y'all know, Kristen said, we absolutely recognize the value in those, especially as a CoC of our size. Those reports aren't going to be very useful to you all if we cannot drill them down to community and project level. It's just not how HUD designed the report. We're working with HUD TA on a weekly basis. We're working with other balances of state to figure out how to make these work, and it's a top priority for us, and y'all will be the first to know once we figure out how to do it, and we will figure out how to do it. And moving on, Jesus, are you with us?
He's self-muted.
Okay, thank you. I was muted, but not anymore. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I have a couple of things to talk to everybody about, and I'm going to start actually talking about the assessment webinar that we have tomorrow. A lot of you have registered. We have almost 90 people that have registered already. I wanted to remind everybody it's a mandatory training. We have offered already 3 sessions. We have a lot of participation, but not everybody has taken this webinar so far. Again, it's mandatory. We have offered 3 sessions. Trainings like this will pop up from time to time. We're not going to do this every month, but again, depending on the need and as the systems change, believe me, this was due to happen anyways, nothing personal against anyone in particular. You all have been great at keeping your data clean. But it is also true that as we move forward towards being more proactive as a department, as a team, we will continue to use data that we get based on your questions, your emails, and participation overall, including, as Kristen was saying, reports, federal reports, to assess what, for a lack of a better term right now, gaps in the education, in the training. I mean this in the best possible way. As we know, you guys that are in HMIS all the time, you know that the system is very vast. You might be using it at 60%. Sorry, yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want everyone to understand, Jesus is talking about a webinar just for HMIS users, just so everyone knows. And yes, not for anyone that uses Osnium. This webinar he's referring to is only for HMIS users.
Yes. Thank you, Cameron. I should have started there. But yeah, you see it right now in the screen. And we have the link available. I think, I don't know if Craig is able to send it. But yeah, anybody that hasn't already RSVP, do it now. Let us know. Again, we're using right now, I mean, when you train the first time, usually what you get is, you know, the basic features, stuff that you're going to use on a regular basis, but there's a lot of other things that you might not be aware of. And so we have decided that it's best, we're calling it right now kind of like add-ons, add-ons to the training, because once you get this, you will immediately notice. It will be reflected on your data. It will help you understand your work better, and it will benefit everybody involved. So I want to give kudos to everybody that have attended already to the previous sessions. Again, if you already took the session that I did or the session that last week Victoria and Ben did, you don't need to take it again. It's just one, unless you really love it, and then yeah, you can take it as many times as you want. But this is the last one that we're going to offer. If you cannot take this webinar for any reason, I want you to email me, please, so I am aware of this, because again, we need to assess if we need to provide it again, because it is very important that everybody is on the same page with this. Everything refers to, actually it's my next point, data quality. We will be sending emails this week, and I want to give props to all the folks that have been very diligent and letting us know every time they receive the email from Ben. We are looking into ways to make this process easier for everybody. Now we're talking about data quality. We want to help you reclaim responsibility for your data if you want. Help you monitor, navigate it, read it, use it. You know, your data, and the more you know about it, the more how you take care, how can you take care of it, the better your outcomes will be, the more useful it'll be to you, and once that happens, we all win. So we are, you will be getting those emails soon. If you don't get one this week or the beginning of next week, because there's a lot of agencies, maybe you don't have updated information about your agency, in which case, I want you to let us know. We usually send it to whoever the agency administrator or whoever the agency has designated as the HMIS admin. So if you or anybody on your staff haven't received any of these emails, please drop me a line. You guys have my email. It's jesus@thn.org. That is JESUS@thn.org. Every program in HMIS is subject to data quality because your data quality impacts us all, the whole CoC, but you already know that. I'm just stating the obvious here. And before I leave, I just want to plug also the HMIS webinar that we're going to have at the end of the month. A lot of you guys have already participated in that. It's reserved for HMIS users because we deal with a lot of stuff that actually only HMIS user will understand. So if you are an HMIS user, you want to make sure that you, and we haven't sent that invitation, so don't look for it. We don't have it yet. We usually send it the week off to not confuse everybody with a lot of webinars. But if you have any ideas, any questions, anything you would like us to talk about, to show you, if you haven't attended yet, you know that we do demo tips and any relevant information to unlock the potential of your, I don't know, HMISing. So if you have anything to add or you want us to talk about, please email us to hmis@thn.org. That is my time. If there's any questions, correct, well, you can send them to me and we can address them. But if not, thank you.
Thanks, Jesus. Also, for those projects that are in HMIS, just an FYI, we're getting ready to do quarterly data quality. So you all should be receiving emails from the HMIS team soon about that. And please be sure to respond to those emails. It's a good way for us to know if there have been any changes in users at your agency. And please be sure to keep in mind deadlines on those data quality corrections. We have a question from Shelly about how to get on to HMIS and how to learn to use it or to get more assistance on it. Shelly, you can email the HMIS team at hmis@thn.org. That particular webinar will just be for current users, but we would love to talk with you about joining HMIS. So Craig, I think we've already shot that email address out. And we are going to move on to Alexa, who's going to talk to you all about the LHC Toolkit.
Hello, this is Alexa. Just a reminder, I'm the VISTA Summer Associate that's currently with the Texas Homeless Network for the summer. My project is based around creating a comprehensive local homeless coalition toolkit, ideally hitting all of the needs of LHCs. So I sent out the needs assessment survey and I have the responses and the non-responses on the screen at the moment. I want to thank everyone who responded to the survey and gave me good answers. I used those to inform the toolkit because that gave me a really good idea of what local homeless coalitions need. So thank you for doing that. I'm at the next step in the toolkit, which is I have a draft that's completed, and I'm sending it out to LHC chairs progressively over time so that I have time after each response to look at the suggestions and really implement them. So some of you have received emails from me already. Thank you for responding, and otherwise you will hear from me in the future based on the contact method that you indicated was your preference on the needs assessment toolkit. So over the course of the next 2 weeks that'll happen. If you have additional information that you want to share or suggestions, I would be incredibly happy to accept those. The last day to really send those to me will be the 28th of July because my last day is the 31st and that won't leave me much time to implement them otherwise. So again, thank you for responding to the requests I've had so far, and I look forward to talking to everyone in the future about how I can ensure that the toolkit really meets your needs.
Thanks, Alexa. And yeah, thanks again, y'all, to all of the coalitions that completed the survey. We're creating this toolkit based on requests from you all, so, and it's not for us. Your feedback is crucial, and thanks for continuing to work with Alexa on this. We also have exciting news that Alexa is going to be able to travel back to Texas to come to our conference in October to present on the toolkit with some other staff from THN. So we're excited that she's going to be able to see this project really through and speak with you all about it in person at the conference. And moving on to coordinated entry, Sophia.
Hey y'all, just a reminder that the coordinated entry PMPs for those communities that are required to implement coordinated entry are due on September 1st. We encourage you to get them to us sooner rather than later. We will be following up with a phone call just to review the document with your coordinated entry planning entity to make sure all of our questions are addressed right away and so we can get responses back quickly. And if you're wondering if your community is required to implement coordinated entry, the place you can find that is in the coordinated entry written standards. Also, on the 28th of June, so rapid rehousing or prioritization standards for continuum of care program funded rapid rehousing projects were approved by the board. On the 20th next week, I believe it's a Thursday, we'll be having a webinar from 2 to 3 p.m. to review those. I've sent personalized constant contact newsletter requests to the rapid rehousing projects that are funded by the Continuum of Care program. Right now, they'll only really apply to these projects. Once coordinated entry is in place, however, we're highly encouraging communities to adopt these prioritization standards for all projects that are rapid rehousing focused, regardless of the funding source. So it may eventually apply to your project as well. And that is it from me.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. This is going to be fast.
Yeah.
So on to announcements, y'all. Org code trainings. We are doing a motivational interviewing training with Org code Friday from 11 to 1. We sent out the invite, I believe, last Friday. We apologize for the late notice on this one. It's been a bit challenging to get scheduling squared away. So we're working with Org code, who is out of Canada. So we still have, I think, 40 or so.
Yeah, there was
Lots.
60 something registered for this one.
So we've got about 60 folks registered for this already. Craig is going to shoot out the link to you all. I would strongly encourage you to take advantage of this free training on motivational interviewing. And this is the beginning of a series. We're kind of bouncing off of our in-person awesome shelter and housing stabilization trainings with Org code. We're also, in the next one, following motivational interviewing is going to be trauma-informed care. That one is going to be July 24th from 1:30 to 3:30. Craig is also going to shoot that registration link out. So, I mean, these are requests from you all and just needs that we've identified as staff. These are best practices we strongly encourage you to incorporate into the work that you're doing with families, youth, individuals experiencing homelessness. And again, these are trainings you all have been asking for and we are now able to provide. So I think not just those doing direct service could really benefit from these. Definitely supervisors, agency leadership. As you all know, the change starts with you. If you want to start moving towards lowering barriers, housing first, and really meeting clients where they are, these are two trainings that are going to be crucial to your practice and your agency. So we strongly encourage folks from all levels at the organization to join in on these and take advantage of them with Org code. And hope to hear from all of you there. We'll be checking in to see what y'all thought about these, and we'll probably touch base about them at our next general meeting. And I see y'all, we've got some questions coming in. As soon as I'm done talking, I'll answer some of them. And I'm going to pass it on to Mary, who's going to talk to you all about ESG and board elections.
All right, so for State Emergency Solutions Grant Program, or ESG program applications, the due date for applications to be submitted to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, or TDHCA, is a week from Friday, on Friday, July 21st by 5 o'clock. Our role in this application is to consult with all the applicant projects to look at project design, budgets, and performance targets, and just ask you some general questions that help us know whether or not your project aligns with our CoC goals. So we have been doing consultations for several weeks now. We're wrapping those up by the end of this Friday, the 14th, by 5 o'clock. So we are not taking any new applications or consulting with anybody new. The last chance you had to get going with us was last week, Friday the 7th. So we are wrapping up with existing applicants by the end of this Friday, the 14th. So I think I have been in contact with all of you who are still working with us. And again, applications are due next week, Friday. So, yeah, for us it's, again, this Friday, July 14th at 5 o'clock. So if you've already been working with me, make sure you and I have a plan where we're finishing everything by this Friday at 5. Just a note, we have had a few more applicants last week joined the group, so that we are now up to 23 applicants requesting about $8 million from many, many communities around our CoC. So we love to see that broad spread of interest from around the CoC. And again, our allocation for our CoC is about $3.1 million. So that's it for state ESG update.
Thanks, Mary. Also, just wanted to point out, y'all, we did notice quite a few applications coming in from partners and communities that in some cases there were like up to 3 applications we were getting from one community, and it appeared there wasn't a whole lot of communication happening within those communities about doing a collaborative application. And in some cases there may be really good reasons for that, and others it just seemed like there, again, wasn't a whole lot of communication happening. As you all know, TDHCA definitely does give points, extra points for collaboration, and in communicating with some of you, now those applications did become collaborative, and we were happy to see that. I would just really encourage you all, if you're not already, to be talking about funding opportunities at your LHC meetings, so that everyone in the community is aware of those, and you all can partner on those. Again, we were surprised to see so many separate applications and not a whole lot of knowledge of other organizations applying in certain communities.
Yeah, this is Mary again. We did get one question, and it's a good clarification. If you finished your application for ESG and we sent you an attachment A form anytime since January when this whole thing started, you do not need to do anything more with us. Just make sure your application is submitted by next Friday, the July 21st. It's just that some people got a bit of a later start, so we are still consulting with them. But if you're done, you don't need to do anything else with us.
Thanks, Mary. And board elections?
Thank you, too.
Yes. This fall, we will be electing 9 seats on our board because those terms are ending, and you'll see those are the ones in orange on the screen. Persons with lived experience, homeless veterans, chronically homeless persons, homeless youth, mental or behavioral health, local government, public housing agency, business, and Texas Interagency Council for the Homeless, or TITCH, or state government agency, are the seats that are up for election. We are beginning election prep this month. We'll be accepting nominations in August. Elections will be held in September, and board members elected will be announced at our October 4th general meeting, which we're holding in Dallas, but also via webinar. So this is a really great way for a community to make sure that their community's interests are represented in the CoC. Policy directions and strategic planning, because that's what the board does. So last year was the first year we had such a large board of 15 members, And we definitely tried to make sure we were not only getting nominations for each of the seat designations, but also a good geographic spread around our CoC so that we had representation from, again, a wide range of our communities from the Panhandle to the border, all the way west and east. So be on the lookout for more information about board elections, and if you have anyone in your community who's interested, they can start reading the materials on our website about our current board, or certainly they can reach out to me directly and ask questions. My email is Mary, M-A-R-Y, @thn.org. Thanks, Mary.
Is there an official nomination form to fill out?
Not yet. There will be.
On to our THN Texas Conference on Ending Homelessness. Caitlin.
All right. So as Mary mentioned, we are going to be hosting the Texas Conference on Ending Homelessness, which is a conference that THN sponsors in partnership with Region 10 in the Texas Homeless Education Office, or THEO. It's a great time to get together to network with other folks from around the state and with our education liaisons, which are going to be essential partners as we move forward in ending youth and family homelessness in the near future. It's going to be October 4th through 6th in Dallas, and registration is currently open, which is great. Our conference is a little more cost-friendly than, say, the National Alliance to End Homelessness conference, but if you're finding that cost is still a barrier, please know we would like to make it work for you. There are volunteer opportunities that are open, as well as some small scholarships that are available. So please don't let that be a barrier. You can find on our website, thn.org, if you go under the Education tab and then click on Conferences, there are several links you can check out. If you are a presenter, there's a discounted rate available for you, so make sure you take advantage of that if you are presenting. You can also host exhibit tables if you have like I'm words blanking right now. How does make words? If you have program materials that you would like to distribute, or if you are trying to promote something that you would like to share with the attendees of the conference. Also wanted to point out again that this year there are going to be special interest area tracks that you can look at on the agenda. Some of those special interest area tracks have to do with education and case management, but the one I wanted to bring to your attention is a balance of state-focused track, which I believe we did talk about last time. It's going to center a lot around local homeless coalitions, their role, their development, and how to do the things that THN is asking you to do, and that the Texas Balance of State CoC has determined as being priority projects. So we encourage you to come. We encourage you to not let cost be a barrier, and we encourage you to let us know if you're going to come so we can make sure that we meet you and see you and get some face time, which we don't typically get with folks. Also to note is right before the conference begins, our Balance of State CoC general meeting is going to be held. So that is a meeting just like the one we're having today, except we do it in person. So you get to see all of the wonderful faces we all make in this room and watch us all dance in our chairs as we are so thrilled to hear all of the amazing things that are happening in the CoC. For those of you who are unable to make it, don't panic. We will also be doing it via webinar as usual. So you can still participate even if you can't be there. And I will say if you live near the Dallas area, you are welcome to drive up just for that meeting, and you do not have to register for the conference or stay at the hotel or anything in order to attend that meeting. So that is something you can attend cost-free and still get some networking time in with your fellow Balance of State CoC folks, as well as us here at Texas Homeless Network.
Thanks, Caitlin. And, oh look.
That's it. NAH?
No, it's Caitlin again.
It's me again.
Resources.
Hey, oh, also NAEH, right?
Yeah.
No, we cut that out.
I got that.
You got that. All right, great. So we have pulled together a resource list for you all. Craig, could you pull that up for me? Awesome. So I wanted to highlight 3 different training/learning opportunities for you all to take advantage of in the upcoming month. The first is for our folks that run emergency shelters, be they DV shelters, family shelters, single shelters, what have you. NAEH, or the National Alliance to End Homelessness, puts out learning collaboratives and learning series every now and then. There's a really great one on rapid rehousing, but this one is focusing on emergency shelter. So it's talking about how to transition your emergency shelter into a housing-focused shelter, how to evaluate your shelter rules, and lots of other very interesting topics. So that first bullet A, is actually a webinar that you can watch. And bullet B is an amazing graphic, which I would like to get tattooed on my arm so I can look at it forever. Just kidding, not really. I would recommend that if you are running a shelter, take a look at it, see if it would be useful for you as you are. It's really cool if you are trying to evaluate your shelter and trying to make sure that your outcomes continue to grow in the direction that you'd like them to. The next is a webinar on engaging individuals who have experienced chronic homelessness. This is a webinar that SAMHSA is pulling on, and that's the Substance Use and Mental Health Association. There's another S.
Service Administration.
There we go. I always mess up those last two. But they put on some really excellent webinars with highly reputable speakers. This would be a really great one to take advantage of if you are a project that's, let's say, doing a lot of street outreach or a permanent supportive housing project that needs to engage and gain rapport quickly with people who experience chronic homelessness. And local homeless coalitions. I mean, honestly, everyone should listen to it because SAMHSA really does put out some excellent and very interesting webinars, but I'm trying to give you a taste of what you could do with this information. That one's going to be on July 18th, so that's next Tuesday. I know it's coming up quickly. I believe registration is still open and available. It's free, so that's a plus. And the last one I wanted to make you all aware of, which was recommended by Susan Sterrett, our TA provider, our technical assistance provider from the Corporation for Supportive Housing. It's Successful Supervision for Supportive Services Staff. So as many of our projects are either starting up PSH for the first time or are reworking their PSH projects, this is great for our program managers, our supervisors, our lead case managers to help supportive services staff make that leap. I will say there is a cost to this one. It's $25. But I think it would be a great idea to just, do $25 and then put it up in your group conference room, and then you do 8 case managers at once, and boom, cost effective.
Stretch that 25.
I will say that link that you click on will take you to a sign-in page. It won't actually take you to the link for the training. I couldn't figure out how to get the link up there without making an account first. So once you are in and you are registered with them, then you can search for the title, and it should pop up for you, and you should be able to get to the registration. So I just wanted to let y'all know I didn't make a mistake with that. I just couldn't figure out how to get it to y'all any easier than that. But I would recommend that our PSH projects in particular take advantage of that. CSH, again, is a wonderful organization who specializes in doing supportive housing, so they really are the experts, and you can't get better or more engaging information than this, and $25 is not much. That is my spiel.
Thanks, Caitlin. Well, anyone? We have a question. I would really strongly recommend that webinar on supervision for any project type that's doing rapid rehousing, permanent supportive housing, even outreach, shelter case management. I think it could be really beneficial for all projects. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap up? I think this is the first time we've said it was going to be a short meeting, and it really is. We'll give y'all a couple of minutes.
Will the webinar that you just spoke of be at the same time as the rapid rehousing webinar? Are those in conflict?
I don't know what the names are off the
Your
top of
rapid
my head.
rehousing one?
What, I know the rapid, but the, you mean
Hold on, Michelle, we're looking right now.
supervision one?
The
Eastern. It's that this one is at 12 o'clock because it's at Eastern Standard Time, so it's 12 o'clock our time, and the rapid rehousing webinar is from 2 to 3, so they are not in conflict. It's just an afternoon of webinars.
You know, an all-day webinar affair.
Bring some popcorn to the office.
Bring some snacks.
Yeah, just go to Starbucks.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? And just to clarify, because we've had 2 questions, when we were speaking at the beginning of the meeting, we were talking about the HUD CoC program competition NOFA that has not been released. The ESG application for TDHCA is due next Friday, just to clarify. And no idea when the CoC NOFA will be coming out.
Someone slipped that one in.
Chad. Yeah, we never know.
Yeah.
It just appears one day.
I wish we knew, y'all.
It's not even forecasted on grants.gov yet.
We should just start a Deadpool next meeting.
Can think about it. Any other questions before we wrap? All right, y'all, thank you so much to all of you for joining us today. Again, we know it was a quick meeting. We will see you all virtually for our next meeting Wednesday, August 9th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Same bat time, same bat place. And y'all stay hydrated and cool out there. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.